Hello and welcome to this Quadpro support video. In this video I will be giving you a quick introduction to managing compliance with Quadpro. Two key principles are at the heart of good estates management. Firstly, you must maintain compliance for all aspects of the estate. And secondly, planned work is always preferable to responsive repairs, and Quadpro helps you manage both. As you can see, the Quadpro home screen instantly shows the compliance status for all of your buildings. Quadpro makes it easy to manage compliance using our traffic light system. Items that are marked as green are due in more than 2 months. Amber means these are due in less than 2 months, and red is for items that are overdue. These two sets of traffic lights reflect the status of the essential compliance documents needed for audit purposes for each building, and the status of the asset maintenance procedures that you have put in place to ensure statutory compliance. By clicking on any of the traffic lights, you can see the detail related to that particular building. As can be seen from this diagram, compliance in Quadpro is structured under a hierarchy from asset category down to individual records of asset maintenance activity. For each maintenance event, the requisite test certificates for notes and records can be kept in the system for audit purposes. Compliance has two different sections: compliance documents and asset maintenance. In the compliance documents menu, you can see the status of all the compliance-related documents for your buildings. Double-click on one to open the list of compliance documents for that particular building. We can again see the traffic light system showing the status of each document. Most of these are green, but we can see that the water safety, hygiene and Legionella test is overdue. These compliance documents can be chosen by the establishment. The due date can be changed by clicking in the box here and updating the date. So you can see that that has now changed the traffic light to yellow because soon it will be due. If this document is not required for this building, such as a building without a lift, you can turn it off using the checkbox on the right. Up here we have the Documents tab. These folders are all for different spaces in the buildings, and these folders are where we can store the appropriate compliance documents. We can add documents to it by double-clicking on either the specific document you have or click on the top link to open all the folders. Then just take your file and drag and drop it into the correct folder. So we can now see that when we go back to the documents in Quadpro, I'll give it a second to refresh, it'll be there where we just put it. Assets can be marked as compliance related, which are assets where you have an obligation to make sure they are compliant with health and safety and other statutory legislation. Assets can be allocated a compliance type in the asset record. To do this, open the asset register. Select the asset that you wish to make compliance related. So I'm going to do this carbon monoxide detector. Firstly, tick this box to mark the asset as compliance related, and then select the compliance type. This can be customized in the glossary. Amber days is the number of days you want the traffic light to be shown as amber before it becomes non-compliant. Click Save to save this record. As mentioned earlier, the compliance status table on the home screen can be used to see the status of asset compliance and document compliance for each building. This acts as a quick, easy way to see the status of your buildings. The worst case status of either documents or asset maintenance will be shown. For example, Say we had a building with 5 compliance-related assets, and 4 of those assets were compliant and marked with a green traffic light. If the last asset was overdue for its yearly maintenance, then the whole building will be marked as non-compliant. We can see here that B block is marked as red for asset maintenance and amber for documents. If we double click on the traffic light, it will bring up all the asset maintenance for that building. Some of these asset maintenance records are compliant, some of them will be due soon, and some of them are overdue, which is why these top ones are marked as red. You can use these filters at the bottom to refine the list, so you could sort it by building, by whether or not they're outstanding, or by when their compliance is due. There may be a number of assets with their associated tasks within a single compliance area. For example, a number of lifts and hoists in a building, or a range of fire prevention systems. By ensuring that all the compliance tasks are completed on time, then each can be considered compliant and the compliance area in turn completed.